welcome. It's to the Love and Marriage Huntsville review panel. We got everybody here today. Everybody clocked in today. Thank God. So as y'all know, I'm your girl Tris.
It's Nels.
And then of course we got our girl Really Be Reviews down at the bottom. I believe she's still eating her breakfast, so we're gonna let her, live. And hey, Ravine, I seen you in the comments earlier. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Chuck. How you doing? Good morning on this good Sunday. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know how y'all felt about this episode, but I don't think we're gonna be in this service long, y'all. We're gonna get y'all in and get y'all out and get y'all to brunch. It's a nice Sunday outside, at least over here on the East Coast. It's about a good 60 degrees. So yeah, we're gonna get y'all out of here so y'all get the brunch, do what y'all got to do. We're gonna get on with the message for today. But yeah, y'all do. If you haven't already, as you're coming into the vestibule, please make sure that you hit that like button
and the subscribe button.
Hey JK, hey Katora, hey Candy Loves TV. Yeah, y'all, we're gonna run this intro and then we're gonna get into this episode. I really didn't think much of it, but yeah, y'all, let's get into it. Let's get shady. Hey, look who else is in the house. Other than the last 5 minutes, why was this episode even shown? I agree with you, Chuck. Hey, Natalie, welcome. Thank you for coming out the bushes, girl. Welcome.
Come on out, girl. Come on out.
Right, come on out the bushes. Victoria said it was rather boring, in my opinion. I absolutely agree. But we're gonna see. We're gonna talk about it, and I'm sure Really Be gonna add some sauce on it because that's just what she do best. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get some little sauce. Right. Hey Callie, hey Aunt Natty, hey Love is Dope. Welcome. All right, so we see Ken, he's talking to Trisha about how the graduation party went, y'all. She thinks that it didn't go well because Marquez's entrance and him, basically introducing himself to everybody there. And they mentioned how Xavier, apparently they heard Xavier with the son was giving him the business. And Trisha says that when she was doing her daughter's hair, even she mentioned that, and I really wanted to know your thoughts about this, Really Be. She mentioned that the girl basically said that was no longer her dad and he's just Marquez to her. And I said, ooh. And so Trisha mentions that he was there the entire weekend. He didn't make an effort to see those kids. And so Ken asked Trish, well, basically, now that the papers are signed, are you ready to get married again? And she says eventually, which we all know she's not ready to, and she ain't gonna marry this man. And I feel bad because I really do feel like she's playing in Ken's face. And so she says that she's hesitant and needs more time, and Ken understands her reservation because obviously she was married to Marquez. Okay. But he knows it's not because of him, or he thinks it's not because of him. And I said, well, that's where you're wrong, brother. That's where you're wrong. But what was y'all thoughts?
Excuse me, y'all. I don't have no voice.
I'm tired.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to talk close to the mic. They are determined to make us give a damn about the two of them, and I just don't.
Right.
Because I don't believe anything that they're saying, so I don't care about their story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that Marquez was as big of an absentee father as what they're saying, because you admitted last week that he did call the kids all the time, but he just wasn't physically there. But that's not what you told us at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he was in town the whole weekend, but he didn't see the kids other than the party. Okay, I can believe that happened. But at this point, the whole situation is so contentious.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And I don't think she want him. And I agree
She
with
definitely
Ravine.
ain't marrying that man. She is not marrying that man.
I agree with Ravine. I think that she's using him as a placeholder. Like she said, "Oh, I held everything down while you were gone to Marquez last week." But I think that she also Ken helped her hold it down with his money because he was clearly pursuing her. So I think that she's using it in her favor because he likes to chase. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think she won him, and I honestly think that he really wouldn't be into her once he got her. I think he likes the chase. I think he likes that. That's why he does it.
So one thing, what I didn't know was she was an engineer this entire time.
Yeah, she works for NASA.
I was gonna say, which would make sense because doesn't they have a big base down there in Huntsville?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was confused because this entire time I'm thinking that he's the breadwinner.
No, he's just he makes bread because he's a truck driver. I'm sure he makes a good amount of bread because that's why he said, "I'm gone all the time. I'm on the road." He mentioned that. And he was like, so if he wanted to come see them, he could have.
I was under the impression he was the breadwinner and she really ain't make no money.
No, I think she makes decent money. I think she makes decent money. I think I don't want to get caught up in, oh, she's an engineer, so she must be making bank. She's still a government employee. And
how that go over here.
And people put the word engineer on everything. Like we got janitorial engineers. And I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying I don't want us to automatically think no, and that's no disrespect. Like an honest day's work is an honest day's work. But what I'm saying is people throw engineer on everything, and that doesn't mean that she's making $500,000, $600,000 a year. Love is Dope says she's at least making $200,000. No, that doesn't mean she's at least making $200,000 because she doesn't live in a market that garners $200,000.
That's the.
She lives in.
Well, I don't know. You don't know.
If she were living in DC, I'd be like, yeah. But in Huntsville, Alabama, she may not be automatically.
But you don't remember really being Huntsville is the #1 city in America.
It is, but it's still the South and the cost of living.
Maybe she's a software engineer.
Yeah, and again, I think she makes good money. Let's be clear. I think she makes good money. But I don't want us to all of a sudden make her a millionaire. That's all I'm saying.
Right. She said Lockjaw ain't gonna marry that man.
She is not interested in marrying that man. First of all, she's not interested in divorcing her husband. Because like Kimmy said later on, where there's a will, there's a way. You mean to tell me? She said, yes, since we went back in the office, I haven't had time. First of all, that man been gone for how many years?
5.
He's been gone since before COVID. Second of all, you ain't got no leave. You ain't got no PTO. You can take a half a day to go down to the courthouse and file the paperwork. That ain't even a full day off work.
No.
Well, Love is Dope said, congrats on your win last week.
Thank you. Hopefully we get one today.
Oh, Chuck said the truth ain't even half. It's maybe a quarter. Oh, Lord.
I agree, Chuck. I agree.
Halfpin said, hey, y'all, she's an engineer for NASA. Do you think she needs Kim? Well, as Really B said, being where she is, maybe she still does need a little bit of bag. But anyway, we know Trisha is turning over a new leaf, but we'll get into that.
And she's still a black woman in the government.
That's true. Go ahead, Nels. You want to jump because I ain't got nothing else for that.
So Maurice went over to visit Martell. Okay. And
thank you, DeMarcus, for the super chat. Sorry, Happy New Year.
Thank you, DeMarcus. And he said, he's hoping that he don't get no lecture because him and Marceau, they like to talk. Okay. He basically, says that he went over to talk about the relationship between Marceau and Martell, and basically how there was no basically they didn't get back together after the breakup of Skull. Okay. So Martell says, I ain't got no issues with Marceau. And he was like, sir, it's okay to say you have a problem, that you don't like this man, whatever. Okay. He said, everybody got a problem with me. And it's always been that way. I'm never the one to cause the issues.
Oh
Okay.
Lord.
I was like, the level of denial that this man lives in, and it's just never him, and he just can't take any sense, even just a piece accountability is just so bothersome to me. And I don't know why I expected that from him, but I expected more from Martell at this big age and point in his life.
I love when Maurice was like, so you're infallible? He's like, what that mean?
Right.
He's like, what that mean? So he goes to try to explain it to him. And, you know, Martell basically tells him, when I say all the time, I don't mean all the time. I just mean, you know, majority of the time, it ain't my fault. Then Maurice starts talking about how Mel descended upon him and, you know, committed him to damnation.
Now that was funny. I ain't even gonna hold you. That was funny. When he said she descended, I said, no, not.
Then he said, man, what you're not about to do is make me out to be Martell. Okay. That's what you're not about to do. Okay. And say, you know, that he was basically, if she was really concerned, she would have reached out to him directly instead of trying to go to everybody to disparage his character. Okay. He said he gave her grace because he understands that, you know, her dream wasn't to be this, you know, I mean, besides, you know, being famous and being a singer, you know, that's who the boo is. Okay. And say, you know, that, you know, she was hurt and embarrassed and she's been projecting ever since. I said, oh my, I can't wait till Mel sees this and talks about how he's giving Dr. King again. Okay. Now basically he said he hasn't seen the real Mel in a very long time. He's just seen this tactical Mel. And he told Martell that he doesn't have to be what she's projected him to be, you know, all this hurt and embarrassment and everything. And he said, life is way too short. You need to get over this stuff. Okay. Sit down and talk to somebody on somebody's couch, homie. Do what you got to do. Pray on it. Okay.
Okay. So you done?
Yes.
So I can dig in his behind. So here's my thing with Maurice. Out of all people, and I do find him, or used to find him to be, I guess, the voice of reason or the most sensible. But it's crazy to me that you witness what you witnessed with your brother and Martell, and then you turn around and now you're trying to build some type of alliance with Martell because Mel came after you. It's just weird. And to answer your question, I left it up there because I wanted to answer DeMarcus's question. Do y'all think it's time for Love and Marriage Huntsville to end? And I do, DeMarcus. I do. Absolutely. I think it's been past time. We're overdue. Okay. We can't check out no more books from this library. We're overdue. Okay. But yeah, I personally didn't. I just thought that was foolish of Maurice to be taking whatchamacallit side, especially now after that interview. I bet you feel stupid now riding for Martell. Now that your name done got dropped and you done got caught up in that interview. Go ahead, Really
B. So shit. Okay.
I like how you tried a different pitch right. Every time.
I tried a different pitch. Okay. So the thing is this. If you listen to Maurice, he told on himself. He said, when people get angry, they start yelling out things that normally they wouldn't say. He didn't say lies. Mm-hmm. He didn't say they start telling lies. He said they start yelling out stuff. And he was talking about the things that Martell was saying. He never said Martell lied on Marceau. Or that he lied on Letitia. I mean, he never said that. So to me, that whole conversation was damage control. They were talking in code on camera. And I do have a better understanding now about why the rest of the cast did not get behind Melody in this situation. I know a lot of people, especially the people that ride for Mel, were like, well, why would they stay friends with Martell? He's a despicable person. He's a horrible human being, yada, yada, yada. But now that I'm listening, I'm like, oh, that's why y'all still are trying to be cool with Martell. One, because at the end of the day, y'all feel like Mel is not coming with the real. And two, I think they do have some empathy for Martell and how this whole situation went down, because at the end of the day, Melody did walk away with the bag. I'm not saying she didn't earn it. I'm not saying she didn't work for it. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. But at the end of the day, Mel walked away with the bag. Martell was left with scraps. And I think that there's a part of them who was friends with both of them at one time. You know, I remember one time, Cree Summer, she was being interviewed about Lenny Kravitz, and she was really good friends with Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet. They were all friends. She said, when a couple gets divorced, you're forced to choose sides, whether people want you to or not. You're forced to choose sides. She said, and I'm going to roll with my sister. She said, I love Lenny, and I've always loved Lenny. She said, but when they broke up, I was going to ride with my sister. And I think, I really think, and again, I'm not saying it was right or it was wrong, but I really feel like I got a different perspective in that conversation.
Well, to your point, I absolutely agree with you, because even and I mean, we'll get into that, but even later on in the episode, Kimmy talks about, we're just so happy to see Martell building himself back up, and yay! And even though he still doesn't have a builder's license, we just are so happy Martell is doing something for himself. And so, I mean, I get it. And thank you, Lot Queen. We appreciate you. Yes, please like both lives, guys. Let them know we're here.
Thank you. Thank you, boo.
We got a total of 94 people between the two channels, so we appreciate y'all being here this Sunday morning. Really be, I think she's still in love with her husband. Callie, I think are you talking about Mel, or are you talking about Bonet?
I think you're talking about Lockjaw.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, Trish. Oh, okay. Cheryl said, or is it Cheryl or Cheryl?
Ooh, anyway, yes.
You got time to go to the gym, but you ain't got time to go file for a divorce. That's right, baby. You better tell her. Look, I love Aunt Natty said when Lockjaw pry her mouth open, she lying. Right. I'm with you. Ravine said Maurice is so annoying. And then said, well, why Maurice think Mel is unhappy because she is single? I hate men like him. I absolutely agree. I didn't like that he took that jab. And I hate that's like you don't have kids, so you don't like. I hate when people do that. I mean, granted, there is you may not have the hands-on experience if you're not a parent, but I just hate when people throw that out as like a
thank you, Kim Pryor.
What happened, Paul? Hey. Love is dope. Let us pray. Delulu. I blame his mama. J Love, what you talking about? You blame? Oh, you talking about Martell? I absolutely do. Now, Miss Marlene is the problem. But you see, he threw Miss Marlene under the bus. She got to call Mel to get money when he got her watching them kids. It's awful. Why did Mel's name even come up? Kimmy did the same thing. Right. The only people responsible for the Holt's marriage is Mel and Martell. Then the other cats have no responsibility. Right. I agree. But you hear kissing Martell's ass that just expose your brother so he won't expose him. Maurice is scared Martell would. Yes, I absolutely agree, Ravine. Absolutely agree. And that's exactly what I was thinking too. But yet, Mel's not allowed to talk about anything. Right. It's just so interesting. Off-topic question. Who do y'all think is bigger hater? I think you are so funny. We will get back to that, to Marcus. Oscar the Grouch or the Grinch. I don't know. I'm more of an Oscar the Grouch person. Yeah, Maurice doesn't want his secrets exposed. Good morning, Sweet Pea. You can't get any more toxic than this show. Agreed, Cheryl. And Kimmy following suit by kissing Mattel's ass too. She thinks he's a good guy. She annoys me too. I agree, Ravine. I don't know why, but the last couple seasons, I feel like I've been losing respect for Kimmy, and I hate to say that, but it has a lot to do with her marriage. I hate to say it. But yeah, y'all, on to Really B. Or let's not give it to Really B. I forgot.
Acknowledge your gifted memberships.
Oh. Thank y'all.
It was
Thank
Kempire.
you, Kempire.
Yes,
Thank you, boo boo.
and
We
happy
appreciate
holidays.
you. Happy holidays, baby. Thank you for the gifted membership.
Yeah.
That's the best Christmas present, Bookie.
But I said it, and I was like waiting for you to get to, and I was just like,
no, because it's so many. I'm going through all the comments, but thank you.
Right.
Look,
that's why I was like, excuse me. I was waiting for her to get to it too. That's why I was like,
oh, that's so sweet of you. Look, I see what you try to do, Kim Pie. I might see you in January. I see you. All right, go ahead, Really B.
Okay, so the next scene is Kimmy and what her name is?
Trish, Lockjaw.
Yeah, I was trying not to call her Lockjaw, but Trish. I don't care about none of this conversation. So she go in there. And
that's why I wanted you to do it.
Right. She talking about she want to open up a gym. Yes, she can't even articulate her vision. Kimmy was like, well, do you want to rent or do you want to own? Well, that's why I'm coming to you. Girl, what? You don't know whether you want to rent a building or own a building? Like, and you want to open up a gym? I need you to crawl before you can walk. Kimmy was like, do you even have enough clients to like support your to support that? She was like, well, I mean, if I could do it all day, I do. Like, I can't, basically, I guess she was saying she was turning down work because she has to do her 9 to 5.
Right.
Then somehow or another, I don't know how Kimmy slick with it. You can tell she's been doing this a long time. Kimmy slick with it. But okay.
Yes, thank you, Kempire. He is in the holiday spirit today. We appreciate it.
Happy New Year. Thank you, Kempire, for the super the $20 happy holidays. And I think that was on Really B's side. So Really B, you better give him some thanks.
Oh, that's on my side? Oh, yeah, thank you, Kempire. All right, I can't tell from my side. That's on your side. I don't know. Thank you very much. So then somehow or another, Kimmy transitioned that into the conversation they had about mail, and they started talking about mail. And then somehow they started talking about, we done got back on this dumb storyline about her and Martell, and now they done brought Chris into it. Once again, y'all are trying to make us care, and we don't care.
We don't care.
Right. Hey, take us out the group chat. We do not care that Martell and Trish went down to the gym, went to his clubhouse, had Netflix and chill, whether it was before divorce, after divorce, during the divorce, which house it was at, what the driveway looked like. Now y'all the boy Chris and Chris was like, how I get in this? How did I get in this? Because Chris was minding his business. Now, We'll get to that later. That story don't even make sense. It's like, damn, y'all are really determined to make us give a damn about Ken and Barbie, and we don't. That's all.
And that was really reaching too. Because to your point, I was like, that's why I was so bored. Because I said, are we really? And I forgot who said it in the beginning of the recap. They could have kept this. Why are we going back and revisiting this? This is such a dead storyline.
Because Carlos realized that we weren't buying, like it wasn't making the impact that he wanted it to make. So now you bringing in another person. Now Chris, well, it was Chris that said it. Now y'all showing us a clip from a conversation that you showed 2 months ago. You didn't show that part of the conversation 2 months ago. Now all of a sudden you want again. Also, you know what else I think too? I also think they had to readjust things once Stormy left the show. So some of this is filler that they're putting in because whatever storyline Stormy had, they had to take all that out. So I think some of this is an adjustment too. Because remember, we had the whole storyline with Stormy and the fan, with her court case and stuff. whatever she had going on with Canvas Beauty, her trying to have another child. Like, there were probably things that they filmed or they were planning to film that they couldn't film or they had to take out. So I think some of this is filler and they're reaching.
Mm-hmm. They pulling their straws, y'all. They pulling their straws. So yeah. Nels, you got anything on that situation?
Thank you. Hold on. Thank you, LRGA Curves. Y'all make sure. I know y'all already know about Kempire. So if y'all not subscribed to Kempire, y'all get subscribed and y'all check out LRGA Curves as well. We like to acknowledge all the content creators.
Yes, and for all the DMV folks, Kempire, just so y'all know, will be in the DMV area again. I believe it's Kempire. If you still in the chat, drop the date, but I believe it's the 26th, 24th, 29th. Don't get me lying. That's why I said drop it in the chat for me. But he is coming back to the DMV. So if y'all get a chance to check him out, you know.
It is a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had a good old time. He had us laughing. He really needs to go
interacting with the crowd and everything.
Right. Yeah, you really need to go on the stand-up, bro. But all right, so we see Martell linking up for therapy, right? With his therapist Dominique. So apparently she's been seeing him and the kids, but today she's there to just see him. And basically she said, I need you to elevate the vision of you have of yourself. Okay. She stresses that he needs to work on his self-development, getting your builder's license. And Martell says that, you know, he's having difficulty stopping certain things and cutting things off when he knows there's no benefit to his life. And she tells him, without a vision, people perish. And that's what I got at. I honestly did not get too much out of that because we know Martell's not going to listen.
I had 3 sentences for that.
Oh, well, honestly, I just felt like it was a stupid scene because we all know that Martell's not going to listen. He doesn't take heed to advice and he's hard-headed. So I just felt like, I mean, I guess it was the point of this scene was to show that he actually is seeking help. But anybody who is familiar with these YouTube streets, we know that that's some court-ordered therapy and that's not because you wanted to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I know we overuse the word narcissist. Mm-hmm. But for me, Martell is a textbook narcissist. The fact
absolutely.
that he can cause so much destruction around him, but he can never see his part in it. When he told that woman he don't feel like anything is his fault, he meant that. He was dead ass. And he said the same thing to Maurice. Like, none of this is my fault. This man cheated on his wife multiple times. And he still can't acknowledge, you know what? I destroyed that. I did that. And for that, I have to deal with the consequence of what I like. He cannot acknowledge that he does anything, even the thing at the park when he was like, I didn't start that. I didn't start that. You did. Well, actually, Destiny started it. But you were the one that was like, well, yeah, you know, you said what you said to Marceau. Marceau responded. You took it to 1,000. You took it to 1,000. Marceau responded. The fact that he just can take no accountability, like that is textbook. That is textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. And it's just sad.
And yes, Cheryl, it's a good time. It was a lot of fun. He is funny as hell. And you meet a lot of nice people.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I think
I met a lot of nice people. Yeah.
Look, we met a lot of nice people, hence Really B and some other folks. But that's where we first met Really B.
I met Cheryl. I met Where Else Do We Go From Here podcast. She's hosting again. She's going to be hosting again.
Taria is hosting again, yeah.
Taria's going to be hosting again, yeah. I met DJ Richie Sky.
Oh, yes, yes.
I met some other subbies. So, yeah, it was a good time.
Man, alone.
Richie was big time.
And listen, and Kempire run a tight ship, baby. Them doors opened promptly. The meet and greet started on time. Yeah. The show started on time.
Yeah,
baby, it ain't no hood stuff. Carlos K.
It ain't no hood
stuff.
Did you just say Carlos K?
Yes.
Oh no.
When I went to Carlos,
like I said it.
When I went to Carlos's event, not only did it not start on time, but it was raining, and them people was standing outside in the rain. The only reason why I got to go inside is because I was VIP. I bought a VIP ticket. See, y'all be getting on me about the VIP tickets, but had I not bought a VIP ticket, I'd have been standing in the rain.
So, not Carlos catching the stray.
All right, so Martell is having his open house for his investment property. Everybody starts showing up. Trisha get there and she ready to get to the bottom of this. Whether Fletcher was the one that tried to hook them up and put these puzzle pieces together. Outside, Chris and Maurice, it was funny. Chris asked Maurice, "Where your brother at?" He said, "Marcel." Oh, well, him and Martell got into it.
Right.
You was there. You remember you was there. So, Chris asked Martell basically, "Are y'all gonna mend anything, so y'all can even get back cordial?" Martell once again says, maybe if I was the initiator, but I ain't start the mess. Okay. Ken said, that sounds kind of like him and Marquez, because they'll have a conversation, and then when they get away from the conversation, with something else. He said he don't have an issue with Marquez. It's really the fact that he's not present. And, he's talking about how he don't come by the house, or how he don't want to come by the house because he don't want to see Ken. And Ken is like, I'm hardly even there. And I told the man he can come by whenever he want. And then said that he's not a man. He said, I don't want to dog him, but he's not a man. Okay.
Nels, DeMarcus, thank you so much for the super chat, DeMarcus. I've been sitting here grinning because when I saw it, I said, Charles, you still think Raw Dog Charles is worse? Okay.
Absolutely.
There you go. Raw Dog Charles is still
Charles
worse.
was married for too damn long. Okay. Listen, especially at that point, you don't think your old ass man gonna cheat on you? You ain't gonna be starting over that old in life. Charles.
You're funny.
It's always Charles. DeMarcus.
That is always Charles.
It's always Charles. Charles always get this smoke. Go paint somebody's walls with your nasty ass. Charles. Okay. All right. So Martell basically says that he can relate to Marquez. Why am I not surprised? Okay.
I bet you can.
Right. I'm like, seriously. And he says, he wouldn't know what to do in that situation either. Where he ain't got no money and he can't buy nothing for his kids. And this is all fresh. They was separated for 5 years. Ain't fresh. Sir, what? So, he said, just like him, just like Martell, basically, he believes that Marquez is still in love with Trisha and says that Ken needs to respect that. And says that Ken should remove himself from the situation and basically see what she would do if he wasn't there. Now that I can agree with, and basically said,
for the first time, I actually agree with Martell on something.
It was just that part to see if she would get. Clearly, she wouldn't get a divorce if he was there because she'd been separated for 5 years.
And ain't right.
And they've been together for what, 2 or 3?
Yeah.
It ain't happened within that amount of time. And he's basically saying, she shouldn't be getting a divorce because you're in the picture and you're kind of forcing her. So then Kimmy and Trish and Nell are inside talking about the kids and the fact that Marquez is what it's supposed to say. About Marquez and the fact that, she ain't filed his damn paperwork yet. Okay. Trisha tried to say she ain't got time for it. And Kimmy basically said, we make time for the things that we want.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And of course, Martell and the Martell and Trisha situation comes up. She says she asked Martell how out of all these people, how he came across little old her. Okay. And she said that Martell told her that Chris used to see her at the gym all the time and told him to reach out. So now they're trying to figure out where in the divorce process this happened. Okay. Is this when Martell and Mel was almost divorced, where the ink was on the paper? No. Okay. And basically Trish puts a little, I felt like she kind of put a little battery in Nell's back a little bit and basically said, I feel like this might cross the loyalty lines, after I found out how close you were to the Holtz. So we know Nell ain't having that, okay, especially not on screen. So she got her ass right up, went outside to go get her husband and said, sir, I'm gonna need you over here inside, okay, because apparently you was the one that was trying to hook up Trisha and Martell. So let's go.
And did you see Ken's face when she said that?
Because according to Ken, he didn't know that it was a hookup.
Right.
It was a session. It was a workout session, a training session. So then all the men come inside, of course, because they all want the tea. They want the business. Okay. Martell said, why are we in here talking about this drama when we trying to sell a house? Sir,
don't nobody want that house. Don't nobody want that house.
My thing is, and you always pick the most opportune times. Boy, bye. Okay.
That's funny.
Martell said he didn't say that to Fletcher, okay? That Fletcher didn't tell him to reach out to Trish specifically. What the hell does that mean, sir? Okay, so then he, when they explained the story, basically Fletcher said that, he was on the phone with Martell. Martell was asking, if there's some, nice looking women up there. He said, yeah, it's always some nice looking women. And then explained Trish and what she looked like. So from what I gathered, is if I'm honing in on somebody specifically and telling you about somebody specifically, that's who I'm telling you should talk to. To me, it was like you trying to hook them up together. But basically, Ken said things ain't adding up. 1 and 1 ain't making 2. And basically, we need to get to the bottom of this mess.
And I said, no, we don't, because we tired of talking about this.
I'm trying to CNN, period.
Right.
So let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question.
Cover his arse, Chris's arse.
Right.
If somebody subscribes to your YouTube channel, do you ask them, who referred you? How did you find me? 3 years later?
No.
Like, when you went over Martell's house to do the workout, that would have been the time to say, hey, how'd you hear about me? Because you want to know, did you see me on Instagram? Did you see me on Twitter?
You can promote more whichever way they tell you. Mm-hmm.
But 5 years later, why are you asking Martell when y'all were at the gym? I mean, what made you reach out to me anyway? If he really truly reached out to you on some I want to work out type bullshit, why would you ask that question 5 years later? Like, it doesn't even make sense. And then, Nell, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. Go get that man and clear his name. Don't let this thing fester. Don't let it snowball. The problem was they ain't got their lie together. So Chris ain't know what to say. Because what I think happened was Martell threw Chris in the bullshit and Chris ain't know. So now he's standing there trying not to call Martell out, but trying not to make but trying not to put himself too deep into it either. Instead of what he should have just said was, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And left it at that.
Well, I agree with you. And to Aunt Nettie's point, did you hear Hotel? I love when y'all call him that. Did you hear Hotel tell Fletcher, don't trip yourself up? And see, honestly, I think that's why Nell, I don't know if anybody else noticed Nell's facial reaction when Chris came back in that house to explain himself, but she was just looking at him like, yep. Well, let's hear the story. Let's hear how this went. Why would you? I was like, brother, Nell looked like she ain't nothing to play with. All right, Ravine said Ken is still there. He's lost. He's still lost. I know. Hey, LTV, how you doing, babe? It seems like everyone is trying to take the heat off each other individually. Mm-hmm. Okay. Lawson Blair, right, Really B. This seems all produced and contrived. Also, we the viewers don't give a damn.
Exactly.
And somebody said something earlier that's correct. Martell did admit that he still loved Melody. When the men were outside, he did admit that he
still loved her. Yeah. I agree. I mean, but that's why he's acting like a nut. That's why, I mean, no shade, but we see he been with Coleslaw. He's had every opportunity to be with Coleslaw, marry her, do all the things that he wanted to do while he was married. And now that he can have her, you see where that's at. And I'm gonna just leave that right there. Love is Dope said, yo, this is when Ken and Trish were supposed to be on Messy Monday together. So they got in a big fight over this, and Trish came by herself, and then Ken came the next week because he left the house. Yeah, I had heard about that. So you think that was literally okay? That makes sense. That makes sense. I do remember that. They're both cheaters. And water is wet. We know, Martell. And water is wet. Angela said, not Chris helping Hotel cheat even while he was going through all that stuff with Mel. Yeah, birds of a feather flock and cheetahs flock together, Angela. Cheetahs flock together. Taina Bombshell, that interview was so embarrassing. Her funny looking behind wanted to make it about her and Martell so bad. Yes. Really, B, do you want to give us any more notes? I know we had touched on it last week, but Nels was missing. Would you like to give the people any more notes on the wonderful interview that you watched with Ariane Winfrey? That's 30 minutes she can't get back, y'all.
I can't. Well, one thing I will say is I told y'all that they went to Tasha K first. I did give y'all that tea. I didn't know why Tasha K didn't do it. The only thing I could think of is that Tasha K was asking them for certain things that they couldn't give her, like receipts, screenshots, text messages, something. But I really don't have anything to add other than the fact that Tasha K busted their asses out and let it be known that this was some old bullshit. And she's that they came to her first. And they basically burnt that bridge with Tasha K, child.
Well, do you think that a lot of people are, watching our good girl Simone, shout out to her. I think she's the one that mentioned that because she said that Marceau tried to unalive her, that basically they now have a lawsuit if they wanted to.
What happened?
And so Simone was saying in her recap of when she was talking about the interview, and she said basically when that girl said that Marceau or accused Marceau of trying to unalive her, they basically have a lawsuit now and they could sue her if they wanted to. That might be why Martell took it down.
Oh, when she said he threatened to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Hot mess of lies. She was too busy trying to see what Martell did. Sean, absolutely. She was all in that interview. Well, Martell, what were you doing? Where was you at? And I don't know if y'all noticed, but he absolutely hunched on that girl. It wasn't just, if it was Marceau, him and Marceau did it together. That's what I believe. Motel's definition of love: lie, cheating on wife with multiple women, sue your wife for full custody of your children, stalk, harass, mentally, verbally, and emotionally abuse your ex. Well, that does sound like Hotel. Could y'all see Melody? Hey, DeMarcus, could y'all see Melody in another reality show besides Love and Marriage Huntsville? I could. I'm just not sure how she. I could. I'm just wondering what type of show would they pivot? Like, what type of show they would put her on?
I think Melody would want to do like a Real Housewives type thing.
Oh, you can see her.
Melody. Yeah, I don't think she would work with Carlos again unless she had to. But I could definitely see her doing another reality show. Absolutely.
Love is Dope said, yeah, because Carlos said one of the men hooked Martell and Trish up and they had an intense scene. Oh, okay. They went to another content creator also. Okay, Aunt Natty. What's CS? I'm trying to think. To another card, and then allegedly the contract is ticked off and it's going. Well, child, it's a lot going on in these YouTube streets. Okay. That side chick show was so embarrassing for Hotel and Coleslaw to bring that linebacker on there and just be downright disgusting. Maurice probably feels like a whole fool for taking up for him. Right, because Maurice caught the stray in that one Poe thing. Now, I ain't even going to say Poe. Yes, he did something with Timu Kiki Wyatt. That's exactly what she gave. That's exactly what she gave. Charlene said, I think the video is still up. The one with Maverick was taken down. Okay. Maybe a spinoff by herself. Okay. Hey, Scotty. How you doing, boo? You been in the bushes? Happy Sunday.
Hey, boo.
Yes, Aunt Natty. Hey, boo. I believe all three of them had her too. Oh, I would love to see Quad and me. Oh, and a Melody. Okay. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. She was in a Tubi movie with Claudia Jordan.
That would never work. That would never work.
What? Quad and Mel?
Quad and Melody. Both of them egos.
Well, see, y'all know more about Quad than I do, but from what I see, I like Quad. I mean, I really be Quad. Yeah, that's why I think
I didn't like Quad, but both of those egos, not at all.
Yeah, I was about to say, but both of them are real.
I would think that they would get along. It'd be some fabulousness, across the board. Oh, Scotty said he don't want it. He don't want it. Now, Sean, I don't know. That's what I heard in these YouTube streets. I felt like I heard this yesterday, but apparently there's some footage allegedly of the little boy, Ariana and Martell's son, bucking at Sugar Mama. I didn't see the video to witness it, but that's the word on the street. Auntie Kim said both of their egos are too big. Okay, it was just Team Fabulous. If Kenya and Portia can get along and be fabulous, and why can't Quad?
I'm sorry, Kenya and Portia. I'm sorry, did you not forget Portia dragging Kenya ass across
exactly.
the
What are you talking about?
When did they get us? What are you talking about?
Well, what? After they had their kids, then they got a little bit closer. You know what I mean? The daughters brought them closer.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Or was it the paycheck?
Well, that too, just like Giselle's getting a lot closer to Wendy now. It's the check. Mel, Love is Dope said Mel needs to go heal and then come back to TV. Okay. He's a tiny terror. Okay. Marriage Mansion is not a bad movie. Mel did a good job. Okay, Brenda. I honestly, she could do HGTV. I could see that. I don't think any lawsuits will be done because I believe it happened, but there's no evidence. But they don't want any more people to come out. So let sleeping dogs lie. Okay, sure. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, look, I said we won't go be long here today, but we ended up being longer than I expected for this very dry episode. But yeah, y'all, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate Kempire for the gifted memberships and super chats. Also, the show is January 24th, by the way. I did go look it up. It is Friday, January 24th. So like I said, if you are in the DMV area, make sure y'all go check out Kempire while he's in town. And yeah, I'll be in your DMs, Kempire, because you don't have any more tickets available up front. I'm gonna need you to pull up a chair. Okay. But yeah, y'all, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you guys are subscribed.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure y'all following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Blue Sky, I was getting ready to say X, the Facebook, and the IG, y'all. And again, thank you, DeMarcus, for all the super chats. We appreciate you, Love Bug. We always love your support. And yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week. I don't know if next week is the finale. I see some of y'all asking. I just want to be done. I ain't even gonna hold you. I think I said earlier, I think the show has run its course. I think that it's just gotten absolutely too toxic for the people on the show. But I mean, y'all are a good audience, but I see some other things and I hear some other things when I be in the bushes and a lot of these chats, and it's overall toxic. And I'm just ready for it to be over. I'm tired of Ken and Trish. Nell and Chris really aren't giving anything. And Maurice and Kimmy, I don't think are going to be honest about where they are in their marriage or so I just feel like we're not getting anything from the show. So yeah, y'all. But yeah, y'all, hope to see y'all next week. Y'all have a good week. This is probably our last live of the new year. So happy new year, y'all. And we will catch y'all in 2025. All right. So happy new year, all. Be safe. Love y'all. Have a great week. Bye-bye. And happy Sunday fun day, y'all.